Speaking of bigger and bigger, we're about to get even bigger and rarer with this podcast as we talk about some Rareware games. Each picked a special Rareware game to talk about for this episode of Game Talk. Ryan, would you like to go first?
Sure, I will. This is I'm gonna, a shocker here, but I'm gonna bring up an older game for the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. A game developed by Rare, published by Nintendo. Pretty late, like 1990, I think. Don't hold my pants to the fire. Is that the same? Pants to the fire? Anyway, it's Snake Rattle and Roll. See the little snaky there on the front.
Okay.
Have any of you guys ever played this? I know it's on Rare Replay. It's the Replay collection. Speaking of Rare, have any experience with it?
Nope.
Okay,
Snake stays in my pants.
Nice. Okay. Sorry, give me a minute here. Okay, I'm good. I'll explain me. I like that because I've said a pants joke, and you're the master of coming back with stuff. It's like just cyclical here. It's great.
Welcome.
So yeah, thank you. So basically, it's an isometric game. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, isometric on NES." Yes, it has bad points because of that, but it does have a shadow under your snake, so you can find a place them, so you get used to it. Your movement can be really janky at first because diagonal moves, like you have to move on diagonals basically. You play as a little snake. It's multiplayer. You can play with 2 players. I remember playing with my mom, but I mostly played it alone. The whole goal is to get to the end of the stage. There's in a carnival, you have that little bell you got to hit with the hammer and it dings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's basically one of those. That's your goal. So you want to eat these they're called nibbly pibblys, and they're little balls, and they take the form of the first stage. They have little feet and they run around, and then they have little wings, and then they get turned like little other things. Basically, they're called nibbly pibblys. They come out of these look like record phone things, the big record phonograph things. And you have to eat them, and as you eat them, your tail gets longer. And when your tail glows at the end, you're heavy enough. That's your indication. You're heavy enough to go to the end of the stage and find that little carnival weight ball ring thingy. And that's what I'm going to call it, weight ball ring thingy. And you step on it, rings the bell, opens the exit, go into the exit, and then you proceed to the next stage. And the stages are intertwined. If you look on a map, they're stacked upon each other, and you never notice that. But when you look at a map online, they're all drawn on top of each other. So it's like one huge picture. It starts out fairly easy. There's little obstacles in your way, like little giant feet that jump and stomp you. And if you get hit at any point, you lose a part of your tail. And then you're not heavy enough, so you got to go eat more nibbly pibblies. So you have to basically get to the end, and getting there is easier said than done because around level 4, it starts to up the difficulty, and you have a lot of these complicated jumps you got to make in isometric, where you kind of have to place your shadow and jump and make huge jumps around corners and stuff. And once you get to the ice physics, they throw ice physics at you, so you're slipping and you're jumping in isometric, and then they throw ice physics with things you got to jump on, but they're sliding this way, and then you got to jump on the one that's sliding this way. So you're dealing with gravity, ice physics, and isometrics all 3 at once. I actually didn't beat this game until last year. I had it since I was a kid, and I got up to the last boss once. It's a giant foot, and I died. I've been playing it ever since, and then finally I beat it. I gotta say, it's the music in it is fabulous. It's like a shake, rattle, and roll. It's a pun on Snake Rattle and Roll, Shake Rattle and Roll, and it has this Shake Rattle and Roll song. Very good music. It's not all covers. Very good soundtrack. Very addicting game. You wouldn't think it's very addicting, but had I not even beat this game, it's still one of my favorite NES games, even if I never beat it. Just for it's very addictive. I find it just to go through the levels, listen to the music, and then just try to progress a little farther each time. I would like to try a no death sometime, which would be something that would be I can't even perceive doing it.
It'd be another Brian Swears episode.
It wouldn't be Metal Gear, that's for sure. This is a good game, but this is This is this, but this is I really like this game a lot. Sorry, that was jokes. Don't take offense, Spencer. But I like this game a lot, and I know it's not for everybody. It's if you can get past the kind of the isometrics and the kind of movement, kind of being kind of make you want to just because you have limited continues too. I think you have 5, and you got 3 lives, and you get after every so many thousand points, you get an extra life. And there's these flashing ghost heads that snake heads that give you an extra continue. There's some little manholes that you jump on, and they spit out like points with diamonds or an extra continue that's flashing. You want to pick those up. There's warps, like in Super Mario Brothers 3, where you can warp just to different ahead in different levels. But you kind of don't want to do that because you miss all the extra points for extra lives and stuff. But I don't know what else to say about it. It's a game that I think a lot of people will play and say, well, this game you like so much, but it's just maybe it's part nostalgia. It probably is a lot of nostalgia, but I think if you give it a chance, maybe play a few levels and you'll know if it's for you or not. It'll get your hooks in it or it won't. But
I like the graphics of it. For some reason, when I think of NES, I think of like I'm really thinking Atari for some reason, graphically.
okay.
And then I'm always pleasantly surprised when I see it, and it's like, oh, okay,
no,
nice
the NES
color.
was leaps abound. Is the Atari? It was based on more ColecoVision stuff, but it's not Atari looking at all. It's the graphics are pretty nice, and the music's very good too. So at least even if you play it, and you don't like it, you still get a little bit of a good graphics and some nice music out of it. But
how does the D-pad work for the isometric aspect?
Okay, so when you basically hold right, you'll go at it like an angle, I believe. I can't remember because it's been a while since I played it, but I think it's kind of like angular. So if you hold right, I think you go up to the right. I could be misremembering that, so don't hold my pants to the fire, like you said. My snake to the fire. Okay. But I can't answer that 100%, Teddy, because the last time I played it was when I beat it, and that was a year ago. But I think it is.
That didn't interfere with your like grasp of the gameplay. Like it didn't. Was it like a mind fuck? Like, oh, I'm pressing right, but I'm going at like northeast angle.
If it does it, first, yes,
okay.
It does. Like a lot of games, you got to play it. Like the more you play it, you get better at it. If you like the game, like all games, you get better at it the more you do it. But it's a really good game, man.
I think a game where you're a snake and you eat balls.
Yeah, eat balls called nibbly pibblys, and you get it's a simple game. Eat, get bigger, go step on a scale, and go to the exit. But to get to the exit, you got to make all these jumps, avoid giant feet, and toilet seats that pop up from the ground, a shark in the water, icy obstacles, giant igotkings that come up from the ground.
This is basically Spencer's Vacation, boss battle with a giant foot.
Wow, I did not know your vacation must have been one hell of a vacation there, Spencer.
It was more of a staycation after that boss battle.
So, I don't know.
I love nibbly.
You guys have any other questions?
You said they're called nibbly pibblies? The things?
Yeah.
I always admire Rare for having so much self-awareness that they're making a video game. And that's some of that rare British humor where it's like, we do not care what these are called. So they're called nibbly pibblies.
Exactly. It doesn't take itself. It's a video game for people who play video games. It's just, it knows what it is.
Yeah. I like that.
It's a video game, dang
it. So what would this game be like if Solid Snake was the protagonist?
Well, there'd be an elevator stage where you got to go up the stage. Kind of is like an elevator, but there'd be guys running at you all the time, and they'd stop every 5 minutes and talk to you, and then you'd have, instead of weighing the scale, you'd have to. Oh man. been so long since I played Metal Gear Solid. I'm not the authority on Metal Gear Solid. I'll ask Spencer what would this game be.
Well, yeah, for one, every time you got to a new stage, you'd have to like shrink down and then somehow touch your codex, and then a codec, and then it'd go, Snake, to move left, to move northeast, you have to hit the left button on your directional pad.
That would be it. Yes, thank you. You put exactly what I was thinking. Would want to say.
You have to reset the game and read the manual or the back of the box.
Yeah.
All of that. Yeah.
Like, what is the black?
That was kind of cool though. I kind of like that, even though it was kind of BS. I kind of like that. Yeah, you read the back of the box. It says, "Eat the nibbly pibblies, Snake."
It says, "Eat my balls." Oh wow, yeah, I didn't even think of that. The balls.
The balls. The nibbly pibblies.
The balls.
That's the key.
Sometimes you may encounter nibbly pibblies that will run you a challenge.
Challenge? How so? Well, these ones fly, and you have to jump to get them. Jumping, huh?
Jumping.
Well, I can do that. Be careful, Snake. There's also huge, deadly blades that come up from the ground. Blades. Don't worry. I can get around them. I just like to razz on it. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just not one that I think on replays I'd like it more than I do now.
Okay.
I'm just to set the record straight.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.